Hello everyone. This isn't a video I planned on making, but I kind of got angry this week about some of the happenings on YouTube, and this is kind of a rant video, so there'll be some slight foul language in it, so if you're offended by that, I may edit it out, but if you're offended by that, now's the time to leave before you watch this video. So this isn't my usual content. This is about a YouTuber. Much like myself, I'm a budding young YouTuber and a content creator trying to make a difference in the moto community as best I can. And there's one guy that I really like, and I've been watching for quite some time. He goes by the name of $1 Million Bogan. His name is Danny Hayes. He's a fascinating guy. He primarily deals with Harley-Davidsons on his channel. He is an all-in type of guy regarding Harley-Davidson. I mean, everything. He lives, eats, and breathes Harley-Davidson. And all of his content, well, not all, but most of his content has been centered around this brand. He has been an ambassador for the brand. And what makes this man so unusual is he'll take Harleys and he rides them around the world. He'll get a new Harley Road King and he'll put knobbies on it and go to Tunisia and back. What makes his story even more compelling is he suffers from tremendous amount of depression. He's on meds for it. He's quite open and honest about it. He does a lot of fundraising for them as well. Vices he has in his life is riding to alleviate that mental pain that he goes through. So with that said, his entire channel is centered around humor. It's meant to be a comedy show from cradle to grave. And he's in Australia. I don't know if any of you folks have met Australians, but verbiage like the F-bomb and the C-bomb are the norm. It's brought up in everyday language on a regular basis. It's not meant to offend like it is in other countries or here in America. So what am I riled up about? Let's talk about the incident. He posted a video. He does a lot of filming in his local shop that he's been a patron for 17 years. Bought 15 bikes from him, I believe. It's Geelong Harley-Davidson in Australia. I want to say in Melbourne, but I could be wrong. Geelong, Australia, to be honest, but it's close to Melbourne. When he goes into the dealership, he brings his camera and he talks to all the staff at Geelong. And Colin is the owner, a super good guy. And they have a wonderful relationship. They're actually friends in real life. And the banter starts the minute he walks in the door and ends the minute he walks out of the door. They're busting each other's chops. Not much unlike Kraken's garage. I just recently had a couple of friends over here that purchased one of my bikes, and the conversation would have offended half of America that was going on just with the banter in this garage between the three of us. So that's unfortunate. In this particular video, I saw the video. I didn't find any offense to it. There was some reference to gays in the video, and I wouldn't call it bashing or hating. No, but it was heterosexual men using it in a humorous kind of way. Moved on. It wasn't long focused or anything like that. The crux of this problem is the whole world, let alone America, is becoming politically correct. And the pendulum has swung way too far in the wrong direction. Somewhere in there it has to swing back to normality, and people need to quit being butthurt. What I call the pussification of America. I can't speak for other countries, but I can speak for mine on what I see happening in my own country. I think that, to me, the corporate Harley-Davidson is trying to get the millennium in the door to buy their bikes. They keep trying and failing, in my opinion. The only millenniums coming in and buying their bikes right now are veterans, decommissioned veterans that are coming back home, and they have been buying Harleys since World War II. Like it or not, that's the truth. The rest of the millenniums, they're not going to buy your products. Quit reaching out to them. I mean, you're spending millions, billions of dollars trying to reach out on research and development with bikes, trying to capture that person that wants to be on a hipster bike and that type of thing. You're going to get a percentage of them, I'm sure. But I think you need to stick to your core, and that's come up with a platform that somebody can mold into anything they want it to be. Much like all of us that own Harleys do. We make it our own. Whether you want to cholo it out, put long pipes, fishtails on it, some bars, ape hangers that reach up to the sky, or you want a semi-drag looking bike like my Wide Glide, where I have my drag bars on it. I mean, that's what it's all about. You want to bob out one of the sporties or something? That's what it's all about to me. So I think you need to focus on the platforms that you can possibly kit out the way the world is trending, rather than reaching out to them so much with your advertising and your way of doing business. Now, I think Harley has lost sight of, you're not gaining the millennials, you're not really gaining any new customers, and crap like this situation with Danny, $1 million Bogan, is alienating what's left of your customer base. Me, that's right. I've been buying your products for 40 effing years. What the hell, Harley? You know, I've been there through the AMF years when you had good research and development, but the quality control sucked. I've been there during the 80s and 90s when, unless you were trading in a Harley and the Harley dealerships could steal your trade, you couldn't even buy one. I've been there when I had to wait 2 years to get a Harley, and it was list price, and you didn't get a choice in the color. It was whatever next one came off the truck. If you didn't like it, get the hell out of the dealership and go buy another one from somebody else and wait 2 years and hope you get the right color you want. Where were you then during those rotten times? You were greedy. You were stuffing the money in your pockets, getting a hernia, taking the wheelbarrows of cash to the bank. Look where you're at now. Seriously, we're all that's left. The people that have been buying your products. And newsflash for you, Harley. It's not the brand that made the legend. It's the people. Me, Danny. They're the legends. They create the spirit of what Harley-Davidson as a core has done for the last 100 years. The spirit of Harley-Davidson, or people like us, myself, we're the ones that go out and buy your t-shirts for $35 to $50. We're the ones that go buy your hats for $35 when you can buy a normal hat for under 10 bucks just to have that Bar and Shield logo on it. Think what you're doing. You have people at the corporate office, the Knights of the Round Table, the CEOs, making decisions like what happened with Danny. Let's go back to Danny for a second. How this went down is somebody complained, I'm sure, or somebody saw it on Harley, corporate staff, and they could have handled it differently, in my opinion, but how they chose to handle it is, $1 Million Bogan doesn't work for Harley-Davidson, so there's absolutely nothing they can do there. But he did videotape inside one of their franchise dealerships. That they can do, and they did. They sent a nasty gram to Colin at G-Long Harley-Davidson and said, take down the videos or else. And we all know what the or else is. They'll yank the freaking franchise faster than you can shake a stick at. I've been alive in America long enough to see enough Harley dealers get ousted and run out of town because they wouldn't put up millions of dollars to create a boutique to sell their Harley garb and whatever. For real. Basically, they muscled it. Danny, of course, took down the video, and he posted up a video. I'll link it down below, saying goodbye. I'm done to motovlogging. I'm done with Harley-Davidson. I think, Harley, I beg of you to take a look at this man and watch his videos, all of them, okay? You're gonna get hit with F-bombs on a regular basis. It's gonna happen. Welcome to Australia. Quite frankly, welcome to Kraken's garage, and welcome to a good portion of America that ride motorcycles as well. With that said, take a look at this man. Take a look at the jackets he's wearing. Take a look at the ring on his finger. Take a look at the helmets he's wearing. Take a look at the belts he's wearing, the jeans he's wearing. It's all Harley paraphernalia. He's buying all of it. That dude is all in on your product, and you just squashed him. Could you be polite enough to maybe send somebody from corporate out to Australia and sit down and have a meeting with Colin and Danny and say, whoa, time out. I get it. We can't have you bashing gays or anything else for that matter inside the dealership. Can we do that with you guys doing that at your house, Danny, or your house, Colin, or something like that? Work out some sort of amicable agreement. And you know what? Shake his hand and say, I really appreciate what you do. You've been an ambassador for Harley, and you're doing great things with your channel. Love it. By the way, does anybody on the corporate table ride a Harley-Davidson? I'm not talking about the one that was given to you because you work for the company and you're a CEO that's in your garage with a dead battery with 213 miles on it. I'm talking about riding it to Timbuktu and filming it. Anybody? Or do you just ride it to work once in a while to show the colors? This guy Danny is the real deal. I'm the real deal. I personally have ridden Harleys over 500,000 miles. I personally have bought many of them brand new on the showroom. I've spent a lot of money with Harley. I want to talk about, most people when they're angry will vote with their dollar. I'm no exception. I wore Levi's for 35, 40 years. You know, the old button-up 501 blues. When you pulled them out of the dryer, they burned your nuts. And over political stance on where they placed their money and who they backed, why Levi Strauss is in the middle of politics, I will never understand. I'm out. Through that day, threw all my Levi's in the trash, and I would go with a different brand now. I've been a Bears fan my whole life, the NFL. The whole disrespect to our national anthem, I'm done with the NFL. To hell with it. Haven't watched a game in 2 years. And again, I was a lifelong Bears fan watching them lose for 30 years. And I refuse to watch another one because the NFL didn't make the right stance. Over 1 million people died for that national anthem and what it stands for in this country. That's a lot of spilled blood, and you have no respect for that. I'm out. Getting back to the spirit of Harley-Davidson, I don't care what you ride. Most riders don't care what you ride. Most Harley riders don't care what you ride. You want to ride a BMW? Great. You want to ride a Honda? That's even better. The point is you're in the wind. And that's something, a common bond we all share. I too have been depressed. I too have been down and out. I too have been where my self-esteem is smashed to pieces. And when I get on that bike and I ride, it's gone. For me. Everybody's different. But for me, it is therapeutic. For many men out there, which is Danny's campaign, it is therapeutic. It's real. For many women out there, it's therapeutic. It's real. Do a documentary on that, Harley-Davidson. Put your money into something that is good. Quit drawing lines that divide your customer base. This was a bad corporate move. I understand both sides of it. I understand Danny as a content creator feels like you're stifling and telling him what he can and can't do. And I understand the corporate side of it saying, well, we can't have you bring up gays, lesbians, heterosexual sex or anything like that in the middle of my showroom. I get that as well. Somewhere in there lies a happy median. How about you find that out? Why don't you send a real writer out to talk to these boys and work it out? It's what I do with my friends when there's a disagreement. I'm like, you know what? I need to buy you a drink. I'll meet you at the pub. Let's go down and hammer this out. Life's too short. You didn't. You took the chicken shit way out. You sent a nasty gram with teeth attached to it about posturing, about doing legal action, and taking the franchise away from Geelong. That's speculation on my part, but we all know that's probably what you were suggesting. Let's talk about your marketing, Harley. I don't know if people know this, but Jason Momoa, probably pronouncing his last name wrong, is kind of the spokesperson for Harley. He does Harley videos as well, and as a result, Harley gave away a batch of Harleys to several different people. They made sure they did all the politically correct, different denominations and genders to make sure everybody was pleased and smiling, okay? And Jason Momoa was one of them. And you know what he did? He first confirmed that Harley's mine. He got a can of rattle can black paint and painted it all over the chrome, all over the lenses, right there in front of God and country. There it was. Great spokesperson. And you went ahead and hired this guy to be the spokesperson for Harley-Davidson? The person you need to hire is Danny. You need to help fund some of his trips to show the durability of what these bikes do. Not some clown that's painting your bikes with a spray paint can, showing complete disrespect for the product. Yes, Jason rides Harleys. He rides old school ones. Choppers, that type of thing. They're a far cry from what's on the showroom. Yes, he's a gorgeous man and bounding with muscles and tattoos and has that Harley attitude of being a rebel. You know, what happened to you, Harley? Your whole persona was built on, you know, stick it to the man. Fuck the man, you know? Go out there and be a rebel on your Harley. Arg. Well, now it's turned into politically correct, and you're drawing hard lines, and you're kowtowing to the minority, and you're ignoring the majority. The majority is the customer base. Somewhere in there is a happy medium you need to find. You're walking a tightrope here, and you're pissing off your customer base. On the road you're on right now, your company's going to go tits up if you don't straighten it out. You're losing money, you're closing down factories, you're closing down dealerships. Americans are losing their job. Globally, people are losing their job. You are continuing to spiral. That's why you threw out one CEO and you just hired a new one, hoping he's going to turn it around. Let's talk about a content creator for a minute and the impact they have. Danny's channel has, I don't know, 64,000 subscribers. Harley-Davidson's channel has 46 million views. I'll put these stats up on the screen. Jason Momoa has 8 million views that are Harley oriented. He has much more than that aren't Harley, but just on Harley he has 8 million views. Together that's about 54 million views of product getting out there to the public. I'm gonna just pull up, I don't know, 7 or 8 content creators on YouTube, and let's talk about the impact they have. Blockhead, 43 million views, primarily Harley. John Maxwell, 16 million views. Killer content there. Bike and Birder, 10 million views. We can't leave out $1 Million Bogan. With his 64,000 subs, he has 14 million views. Moto Noob Rider, 10 million views. Ryan Urlacher, 23 million views. Her Two Wheels, a new sensation. She did a video on camping alone as a female on a Harley that absolutely went viral. She's just off and rolling with 4.6 million views. The Ornery One, 1.6 million views. But my count, that's 144 million just from 8 content creators. I'm a drop in the bucket. I have a lot of Harley content I haven't even got to. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to go pick up a new Harley this week, and I was going to do a big bike review, and I need to do some soul searching whether or not I want to climb onto that bandwagon with the direction that Harley's going. I don't know. I'll put some thought into that. Content creators and what we do, what these other 8 content creators do, is real. 144 million views. You can't buy that kind of advertising, Harley. You can't. And what makes it so real is that it's organic. And what I mean by organic is Danny gets on a bike and he's riding through India, and all the guys have never seen a Harley or are gathering around him, and he lets one of them ride off with it with his passport and his money and credit cards on it, and off the dude goes. That's Danny. He's reckless. It's great content. I've never seen anything like it. What he does. I hope 2 people watch this video. Danny, I hope, $1 Million Bogan, I hope you watch it. Danny, I hope you watch my video. I'm a small pimple on the ass of life on YouTube, but I fully support you, and I hope you don't give up. You do so much good. You create so much goodwill and charity with your message and the way you do it and the comedy that's thrown in there. You're a natural. Your channel's gonna blow up over this, I promise you. Don't give up. I hope somebody from corporate Harley-Davidson watches my puny channel just to hear this message. I'm sorry for the rough language in it, but I hope you get where I'm coming from. We need some changes. We need them now. Do the right thing, Harley. Mark my words, this situation over $1 Million Bogan is going to smack Harley right in the face. It is going to build momentum like a snowball rolling downhill, and it's going to cost you far more money than you ever thought. Am I prepared to throw all my Harley in the trash, all my coats, all my garb, everything that I own? Not yet. Keep pushing my buttons, Harley, though, and I'll sell my Harleys, send them down the road, and I'll go back to Moto Guzzi's for my V-twin Jollies. I can't support a brand that doesn't believe in the United States, on what we built, what we stand for, where we're going, and that takes teamwork. Quit catering to the minorities and cater to the majority. That's where your customer base is. Be smart, figure it out, how to serve it up and be politically correct. There's ways to do it, but sometimes in life you have to have an FU conversation, and some of the whiners that are minorities, you just have to tell them F off. It's just my 2 cents. I hope you understand. I probably will get a lot of hate over this video. I normally don't do politics. Very rare that you will ever see one. We'll go back to our normal nonsense later on this week. I'll get another video posted soon.
Sort of, why? I can try, it'll be within half an hour if I can. Yeah, I probably can't get there, mate. I'm sorry, I've got back-to-backs. This is a fan of $1 Million Bogan, he just wants to say g'day.
To be honest, mate, it saved me life.
Really?
Something bad was going to happen, and you came up, you know?
Are you at Geelong Harley-Davidson now? I'm just going to see a guy. If you want real, this is as real as it gets. Race, don't fucking drive it like a lunatic. I don't have long. I wanted to come and say hello.
I just want you, but
I wanted to say g'day.